St. Vincent Ferrer in River Forest, Illinois, on North Avenue, just west of Harlem Avenue. This truly is God's home. I'm Richie Z from Chicago History, and we're doing another historic church in the Chicago area. St. Vincent Ferrer has been around since 1930. This is another one of these churches that I've talked about in the past where the only way to describe this church is heavenly, godly, spiritual. The architects that built this church, that designed this church back in the 30s, really believed in God. This church has a lot of stained glass in it. We're going to try to show you as many pieces as we can. God was with me the day, I really do believe in God and the power of my angels and everything, because God was with me on the day we shot this. And the reason I say that is because the stained glass is just breathtaking, spiritual. But if the sunlight was shining through the glass, it would actually haze everything. Luckily, when I got there to shoot this church, the sunlight was above the church and the beautiful stained glass came through just in a picturesque type of setting. A little bit about St. Vincent Ferrer. They have over 1,100 parishioners in this parish that serves the community with schools from the toddlers on up to college. Like I say, they've been around since 1930. We need to, I just want to mention something with doing all these shows that we're doing lately and the churches. We have a lot more churches on the books to do. I just want to talk a little bit about what's been going on in our world, and we need to bring God back into our lives. I was brought up in a Catholic school, went to 8 years of Catholic school, and one thing I did learn was what was right and what was wrong. With a church like this, with a community like this, it just brings back something that we need, and that is faith. We need love, the love of God, and we need to bring that back into the world. I don't think you'd have half of the chaos going on in the world today if people went to church. I have a suggestion for all of this stuff that's been going on, and that is take someone to church that hasn't been to church in a long time. It really makes a difference. I've been talking about churches on my tours, Chicago History tours, for many years. Well, this year, I finally started going to churches back in January on a regular basis. Every week I went to a different church, a different service, one of the historic churches in the community that was really something else. And I took in a whole mass, a full mass, a Latin mass, a mass that we grew up with. St. Vincent's has been a part of my life. A number of years ago, I received a Holy Sacrament at St. Vincent's Church, and the professionalism and that, like all the churches out there today, was just beyond belief. I'm going to bring in Father Thomas McDermott. He's the pastor of the church, and we're going to have Father tell you a little bit of history of St. Vincent Ferrer.
Hello, my name is Father Tom McDermott. I'm the pastor of St. Vincent Ferrer Catholic Church, River Forest, Illinois, in the Archdiocese of Chicago, and I'm a Dominican friar. St. Vincent Ferrer is one of, I'm told, about 7 parishes in the Archdiocese of Chicago that is not owned by the Archdiocese, but through a special concession is owned by a religious order. in this case our parish is owned, of course, by the Dominican Friars, headquartered here in Chicago. This is a very Dominican sector of the metropolitan area. The Dominicans came here around 1920. We started Fenwick High School in Oak Park. The Dominican Sisters of Sitsunawa were here before us. They started Trinity High School and Dominican University, formerly known as Rosary College. And we Dominicans had our House of Studies, what we call our seminary, on the corner of Division and Harlem. The building is still there, a beautiful Gothic building, but it's now a branch campus of Dominican University. So this church is Gothic in style. Adjacent to the church, we have a Dominican priory, which is what we call our monastery of Dominican friars. At the present time, we have 11 friars living here. 3 of whom, including myself, are involved full-time with the parish. The parish was started in 1931. This church was finished in 1954. And we presently have about 1,100 parishioners coming to 5 masses on Sunday. It's typical of religious order churches to have the iconography, the art, the stained glass of the order or the congregation's particular saints. And we have quite a few stained glass windows in the church portraying Dominican saints, such as Saint Dominic and Saint Vincent Ferrer, Saint Catherine of Siena, so on and so forth. Also, the mysteries of the Rosary are very important to us because it's a legend that the Blessed Virgin Mary gave the Rosary to Saint Dominic. And what we know for sure is that preaching of the Rosary, preaching of the mysteries of the Rosary, was very strongly done by the early Dominicans. We were started in 1216, so we are more than 800 years old. That's a very long time in the history of the church, indeed in the history of human civilization. So you're all welcome to stop by. Our church is usually open until 4:30 in the afternoon, from say 7 in the morning till 4:30. We'd love to have visitors come in and see our beautiful stained glass windows and the other parts of the church. Thank you.
You know, the only thing I can say when a church like this and so many others in the Chicago area, we're going to be opening up soon. You need to get out and take in the beauty, take in the architecture, take in some of the spirituality of God, the churches. Like I say, if you can bring someone to church, I know a lot of people have watched and I've gotten a lot of response on what we're doing. It's really working out well with these churches and my Chicago tours and everything else. You know, I just want to get into one more thing about this. We're not going to be involved in this pandemic forever. We're going to start going back to churches. In fact, they have started opening up some of the churches, and it's by appointment only and that. But it's time to get back and start taking in something of beauty. You know, I've been doing Chicago tours for, I've been involved in Chicago history for about 15 years. And I'm telling you right now, this is so special, being able to go into a place like this and take in the beauty of the architecture, but also the spirituality. I believe in God and I believe in my angel. But you know, it's time to get back to the basics and bring God back into our lives. You know, I'm going to finish with something right now that I shot. I, in fact, shot this whole thing. And the church is beautiful, whether you look from the front or from the back or from wherever. We're just opening up the doors now. Like I say, this stuff will be over soon, hopefully. We're doing pretty good in our state. We're opening up the doors. And I personally would like to ask people to come back and go to one of these churches and take in the beauty and the spirituality of God. Chicago History Tours with Richie Z, from 2 people up to 50 people. Join in a Chicago tour you'll never forget. Chicago is our inspiration. Mag Mile, State Street, Museum Campus, Water Tower, historic Chicago churches, Hancock and Sears Tower, stunning architecture. Richie Z, historian, tour guide, and storyteller. Book Richie Z at 312-841-2560. Go to our website, our podcast site, www.richizie.com. See Chicago with Richie Z on a tour you'll never forget. That podcast site again with over 100 radio shows is richizie.com. Visit us at YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at RICHIEZIE. Call me direct at 312-841-2560. Go to our website at www.richizie.com. Go fund me at Richie Z. It's very important that we get funding for programming like this.